Welcome to another Rome Total Realism Imperium Surrectum campaign. We're going to version 0.6.2, notably more stable than 0.6 was. We're playing as Athens on VeryHard, and extreme mode, of course. And let's get out of faction selection onto the campaign map and start talking about why we picked Athens and what our plans are. I'm hoping that your plans include hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate that. Alright, popping into the campaign, let's immediately tick the box for extreme mode. And let's talk about why we picked Athens. First and foremost, have you seen this faction icon? It's beautiful, great color contrast, it's a damn good bird. I just love the Athens icon. Makes for a good thumbnail, they have historical clout, so I like that. But the main reason I picked them is looking at this roster, there kind of isn't one, it's god-awful. They only have 4 unique units that aren't just generic Greek units. And one look at the Athenian hoplites tells you everything you need to know about them. 14 morale, 10 melee attack, 37 defense. If you haven't looked at hoplites, you might think that's pretty good, but taking a quick look at a generic Greek hoplite, this might look pretty similar. 14 morale, 10 melee attack, 36 defense. That one's actually slightly different. So technically Athens has access to units that are marginally better than the most basic area recruitment units available. And area recruitment is the reason I'm super interested in playing Athens. Their frankly terrible roster encourages you to pursue the area recruitment units. This icon means anyone who has the settlement can recruit the Greek hoplites here. And Greek hoplites are not the only type of hoplite you can get. You can conquer the Boeotian League for Boeotian hoplites. You can conquer Elis for Elian hoplites. And you can vastly improve what I have access to. You can go to Crete and Rhodes for their famous ranged units, but also for their hoplites and their other units as well that are pretty solid. I can go up here. Titus has some really good epilectoi. Thine-Way Clubmen are somewhere around here. It might also be Titus, I can't recall. There are horse archers and cataphrax in the Black Sea. There are tons of units I can pursue with area recruitment that are really, really powerful. And I do not have any reason to settle for the terrible roster that was given to me. Because I like area recruitment so much as a mechanic, I really want to play Athens and show that off, because it is my favorite feature added in 0.6. Even more so than just the massive map overhaul and the added depth in the Greeks. Area of Recruitment's just a game-changing gameplay feature that I am absolutely here for. When I was doing my testing and I first had ideas about this campaign, I considered doing a migration campaign, but it's just so easy as Athens to take control of the Peloponnese, which would then of course get you the statue of Zeus, which would make it easier to get all these disparate colonies to stay in line. And I just can't justify giving up literally 2/3 of my income by abandoning Athens and trying to leave immediately. So we're gonna be fighting for the Peloponnese as normal for these first 2 or 3 episodes, before we consolidate everything under our power, fort wall up, tell Epirus and the Antigonids to have fun in the north half of Greece, and go on our merry way. So getting into the whole consolidating the Peloponnese thing, we're gonna be going to war with the Antigonids pretty much right away. Which means that now is our only chance to sell them a map. Nothing to get a campaign started off right, like sell in some maps. I hope you were here for the hot map selling action, because that's exactly how this starts. And I'm not memeing, it's very important that I do this, because if you see me recruit the Athens hoplite, the Greek hoplite, the Akantistai, start a farm, out of money immediately, down to 28. I haven't built into my cities yet, I need more money this turn. So I need to have that spy run off to the left, build up the map, and then I need to sell trade rights and map info to the Antigonids. I don't know if they'll take this. Wonderful. And I'm gonna try to sell them the map as well. I think I can get 500 with this, which feels like a lot.
Would you consider?
No, but maybe I can get 400. And from here on out, I'm gonna be just cutting the end of every single map deal for the sake of expediency. You don't need to see me do the negotiating every time. So that's 600 gold, and that is another farm. Next, we're already allies with the Boeotian League, not that I expect that to hold, but we can still get money from them for a map. It looks like they're only willing to give us about 300 for it, which is a damn shame. Pop over just a little bit, try to sell a map to the Aetolian League as well. I've gotten 100 denarii for trade rights on the Aetolian League, hopefully 300 more, yep, for the map as well. We still need more money, we want 500 more. There are Greek city-states down here, but we'll only get to the Greek city-states if we go down. We won't get to anyone if we go left. So it looks like we might have to settle for something else unless there is a diplomat around for somebody. I don't think any diplomats start up here, but I'll walk down slow just in case that Sparta starts the high diplomat that I forgot about. Let's go, oh, we're being body blocked on the left, I say.
Yes, my lord.
Circling around on the right, still not seeing any diplomats. Coming through here, no diplomats. Looks like we're going to be doing the Greek city-states as our last trade route, and that's unfortunate because I think it means we will not be getting enough money for a farm. I will do my best, but...
Would you consider...
They've been upset by this. They don't even give 100 anymore. All right, you know what? Let's just go back down to 100.
A most generous proposal.
Oh, you know what? I'm bad at math. I should have the money for a farm.
Would you consider...
If they actually give me the 400 that I desperately need. Please?
A most generous
Hey, the magic
proposal.
word works. And that is just enough money to start farms and units in all 3 of our starting settlements. So, urgent map selling done, and in the future I will be editing that down even more than I just did because God, is map selling not the most exciting content, but it's super important for Athens on turn 1 that you actually engage in it. Now, I'm gonna bring my faction leader up to Athens because on his own, he'll be enough to get them to very high taxes. The rest of this... I guess it didn't make him the governor because he has the same level of management and it doesn't care about influence. Weird. Anyway, the rest of this is going to head down to Boreas and attack the Antigonids here immediately. Start some rams. And the reason we're going for the Antigonids right off the bat here is if we do anything else, this army here and the army at Corinth can group together and become basically unstoppable to our starting army. We have to divide and conquer against the Antigonids. And if we don't start on turn 1, we will not be able to do it at all. Now, this boat here, we want a navy someday. Right now, we can't recruit a navy. Everywhere that can recruit is recruiting units, but all of our new places with ports will start recruiting navies as fast as they can going into the future. For now, this boat just needs to come up so that in 2 turns, it can start bringing down the units I've recruited at Empress and Myrina. And of course, we need to crank the taxes as high as they'll go in both of these settlements. We're making 1,100 gold on turn 1. That's not terrible, but I don't expect it to stay good because I expect all my ports to get blockaded instantly by the Antigonids. But taking a look at the settlement window, that's what you want to see. There are no faces in the deep green. Everything's building. Everything's recruiting. Coming over to this, everyone has moved. We are done for turn 1. Let's see if anything gets wacky right away. Usually you have a couple of turns as Athens before things get really weird and bad. Around the start of turn 4 is when you start seeing a bunch of random naval invasions happening from like Messene and Sparta and Pergamon and Chios. Just everyone comes for you on VeryHard. It's very funny. Alright, so between turns, nothing important happens other than the Boeotian League getting caught spying on me, because of course they are. Can't trust those guys for long. No super important diplomatic information here that I'm seeing. Oh, yeah, the Boeotian League broke their alliance with me. Just immediately. I feel like that should have gotten a more important pop-up, but okay. Now, for those of you who are expecting a stronger Antigonid response, I should have mentioned this for turn 1, but I forgot to. The Antigonids have a really hard time moving around. There's like walls of Greek city-states here, Greek city-states, rebels, just there's so many lesser factions and rebels in the way they have a hard time moving around. They, for some reason, never are able to get off this island. I don't know why their pathfinding struggles with this strait so much, but they can't get their troops over it. Corinth doesn't come up to break this siege. That's particularly weird. It feels like it should, but it doesn't. The Antigonids just desperately struggle to move their troops around in the southern half of Greece and the Peloponnese. Once you're up here, they're much better at forming a response, but down here, they're easy pickings. They're relatively safe to attack, at least for Athens. We're gonna move this boat up immediately, and we're gonna start selling maps. I'll be back with you for the interesting stuff. My spy has done his very best to expand the map. Let's see who we can sell it to.
Awaiting your command.
We have the Achaean League, Elis, Messene, and Sparta. Let's see if we can't get to all of them this turn. Well, the Greek city-states have decided that I'm not going to be allowed to move for shit, unfortunately. So I'm probably not going to be able to unless there's an Achaean diplomat around here. But I'm not seeing one, unfortunately.
Yes, my lord.
That really is a
My
shame.
lord.
Oh well, we're probably just going to get the Achaeans and Elis this turn then, but that's fine.
I will address them
It's looking like right now the value of trade rights map info is around 600
A most
denarii.
generous proposal.
I will address them at once.
And we're gonna get the exact same thing out of Elis as well.
We must
Nope, Elis
decline.
hates me. Elis, do you actually hate me, or will you accept a lower amount of money? Because it looks like Elis is being a stubborn, crazy person like the
We
AI
must
often
decline.
does. Yep, okay, cool. I'll try to talk to you next turn when you get your head on straight.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my
Instead, I will sell a map to Messene if they're being sane. But you know, factions will often just be like, you know what, we're not talking to you this turn.
Regretfully.
Yep, cool.
we
I'll
must
try again
decline.
next turn when you guys stop hating me for no reason. It's so weird that that happens so often in Rome. They're just like, we don't care what you offer, no. And to show you that it's not just like them saying no, just to make it very, very clear, because you might think I'm just not giving counter offers as I'm editing. Here's a free
most
dollar.
generous proposal.
Okay, they accepted that. Never mind. These guys actually are willing to make a trade with me. They're just for some reason not counter offering at 600 when they should
most
be.
generous proposal.
Cool, thanks. Why didn't you counter offer if it was that close to being acceptable? Next turn, we'll talk to Ellis and Sparta and then make our way out of the Peloponnese. And for this siege, we're gonna pop our faction leader out, bring him over to reinforce. We're looking at 1 unit of mercenary Tarentine cavalry, 2 of Greek peltas, 2 of hoplites. This says it's relatively even, but I feel like we can win this with minimal losses and then retrain literally everything that takes any damage instantly. So this should be relatively trivial for us, to be honest. Something I feel like I should mention every campaign is when you siege a city, if you only break down the gates, you don't have to repair the walls afterward. It's what makes it so funny when you auto-resolve and like 4 buildings are damaged. And it doesn't make any sense because you can't even damage non-wall buildings and walls shouldn't be getting damaged.
Our soldiers are at the gates. Now they must battle.
Anyways, ideally we should be spending 0 gold repairing the city after the siege, and I'll be back with you once they mess up and give us the walls. As you can see, they're doing their best to throw over the walls with this Tarentine cav, but it's against hoplites with shields. They're getting almost nothing done. They should be out of jabs relatively soon. In fact, that'll be the last one. They only got 5 guys. It's looking like the AI is content to leave its cavalry here next to my hoplites and not move anything else. So we're gonna move everyone else to this side since it's clearly the weak flank and then charge our hoplites in.
Our soldiers have captured the walls. Now is the time to press on and capture this.
And as you can see, the hoplites are going just fine against light cavalry. It's not particularly close. Yeah, that's normal. It's sad to watch. Wait, did they just gain stamina briefly? No, they gained morale. I'm stupid. But yeah, this was not a good plan from the AI. In fact, I would hardly call it a plan at all. And let's start bringing everyone else in and figuring out what the next step is. The next step is, by the way, probably just to kill the Tarentine cavalry as they repeatedly run off the point over and over again and get all of themselves killed for absolutely no reason. Say it ain't so, who could have predicted that? Poor guys. Poor guys. Yep, there's the rally immediately, just pointless death and destruction. Now, something worth noting is you might see the groups of mercenary Greek peltas that are floating around. Think there's an easy solution. We have tons of cavalry. These guys don't look that tough. They are tougher than a normal peltas, but I mean, 19 defense is nothing to sneeze at, 9 melee attack. These guys have spears, not swords. If I charge them with my cavalry, especially my light cavalry, I will just lose them. I cannot do that. It looks like they're sending out everything this way, so if I just position to fight them from both sides as they come out, that'll go pretty well for me. However, that said, I should probably bring the missile units out the other side to flank through the alleyway and shoot them in the back once I get the chance. Yep, here come the peltas, just as predicted. My general's cav is over here. I don't know they'll be doing anything useful this fight because everyone has spears, but if nothing else, they should demand some attention from the enemy. And as soon as they come around the corner and into the open, I'll be charging them. Oh, it looks like they're charging us. Interesting. It won't go well for them. And the hoplites appear to have been like, you know what, the peltas probably have it on their own. We don't need to help, which won't go particularly well for them. And in fact, I'm going to run these light cav in so that I can run this down when it inevitably routes. Yeah, it's routing, and it actually tried to route through, and they're just all dead, propo. Whoa, but hold, pause. I'm glad I noticed that you had somehow come to that conclusion about how to route through the city. Oh, that would have just been pointless, easily avoidable deaths for absolutely no reason. Dear God, the pathfinding in cities in Rome is just so bad. This guy's just given up on chasing them down. Don't know why. We should still be able to get them, yeah, no problem. We have Greek peltas, hoplites. We'll inevitably get caught over here, so I'm just gonna run to the other side to pull attention away. Alright, you finally got the last horse just because it was sort of screwing around and milking around in the middle for no reason. Everyone else appears to have decided to run this way immediately, which seems like it's just giving up the point to our units, right? Obviously, this is probably not the best long-term plan, but I think we're gonna get there after everyone's joined the melee already. Speaking of, all of this should be running around to try to shoot into the rear if it ever gets to that point. But yeah, this looks like a pretty easy flank for us. You should be charging the ones after them. Actually, there's no way you're gonna get to the ones in the front. This Peloponnese is going to be a problem. I can see that coming. Also, where are my horses? I feel like they should have just got in there already. Although this sort of pathfinding does explain in abundant detail why they're taking too long to get where they're going. How are you doing, folks? Like, I know I can't micro the hoplites, it's just a brutal mess over here and there's nothing to be done about it. But it makes me feel a little better to go stare at bad pathfinding instead. I was hoping the point would get their attention. Instead, it looks like I'm just gonna put this on triple speed and we win when we win, which isn't quite the plan I was hoping for. We're gonna be spending a lot of money retraining these hoplites, unfortunately, if this is the situation we find ourselves in. Because there's not really a way I can fix this, is the problem. I can bring the Athens down, they can throw jabs in the back, but there's nothing I can do with cavalry, because if you don't know, A, you can't charge in a city, my cavalry aren't charging them, and B, if I could charge directly into the rear of these hoplites, my cavalry would die on contact with them. It wouldn't work. Not until they're deep into the red fatigue. Frankly, this is a one battle where we're just waiting for the timer, and we're taking wounds the entire time until then. And I'll let the Athens do their best until that point. Hopefully no one routs, because if they do, they're gonna take a lot more wounds. In fact, they're probably just going to almost lose the unit in its entirety. I'm not quite sure what just happened with that crush there, but we appear to be fine still. 30 seconds, even if they rout at this point, they probably will fight to the death until the end, and it's fine. The AI threw very hard, but they did it in a way that cost me a lot of money.
Gods be praised.
Only lost around 100, easy enough to merge the units, retrain one, and move on to war, but still felt pretty nasty. Probably could have done that much, much cleaner in a field battle. Having conquered Piraeus, we have to decide occupy, enslave, or exterminate. Occupy results in a lot of happiness problems, and while exterminate fixes those, the population being dead means they're not making money for you. Enslave is the middle ground, and it tends to be the best of both worlds, largely fixing the same happiness problem, but also keeping the population around so they can keep making money, oftentimes repositioning them in settlements with better infrastructure will be even more valuable. However, in this specific circumstance, having run a test campaign, I can say with some degree of confidence that if I click enslave, I'm going to have happiness problems that I cannot quickly and easily solve. I kind of just need to click exterminate for these settlements, and I hate that. I just don't have it in me. I can't click the inefficient button. I'm clicking enslave, come what may. Happiness issues be damned. Because also another issue is we're playing with the setting where when I recruit a unit with 100 guys in it, so this takes 80 population, 80 pop is gone. I don't have it normalized, it's recruiting at the number of population and on large unit scale, which means that population matters more. It's just so hard not to click enslave there. What's easy to do is to destroy all the military buildings here. This is not gonna be a recruiting center. I went into great detail about how our units suck and I care about AOR units. And I'm also bankrupt right now, so I would like the money instead. Now we're going to merge these Athenian hoplites, send back the 39 to get retrained right now. And we're also going to send back the faction leader to get happiness up. Actually, probably not, huh? Because these guys are gonna come here to Megara, siege that down, start the rams. We'll start the ram singular, but it's fine, there's a single guy in there. If they can function at low taxes, and it looks like they can, they cannot. In that case, given no alternative, I send it back. At very high taxes, they'll probably still riot, so I have to drop it to high, and at this point, these two units coming back will be enough to get them into good happiness between turns. I should also probably actually come down here and start a building, which is going to be farms every single time, they're just too efficient. We're going to recruit a spy, a diplomat, and a boat, by the way. A spy because we need to get our maps going faster, a diplomat so we can sell maps in 2 directions at once, and a boat because right now we have a ferry and the whole world around the Aegean Sea is about to start declaring war on me. So I'm gonna need a navy, not a ferry. And it looks to me like that's everything for this turn. Hopefully next turn we can get a forced draw on Corinth. I've seen that happen before my testing, but for now, we just need to see what happens with the myriad of possible enemies that surround us on all sides. Great, the Boeotians and the Aetolian League have allied. Love to hear that. It's fine, I don't have to worry about them until they're attacking me. Also, Athens got to 70%, not 75, but they also didn't rebel, so it works out, I guess. Got lucky on that one. Now, having recruited these armies up top, it's time to put them on the ferry. And obviously that also means it's time to drop these down to basically no taxes.
Yes, Captain.
And I intend to leave these wholly ungarrisoned. I don't have the money to be leaving behind armies and not using them. The income you get from these taxes, like it's 1123 compared to 887, that's not even the upkeep of the units that were there, right? Like these guys cost more than that. I don't care if someone randomly navally invades them. I just need all the units I can get right now and every turn going forward as well. The question is, do I believe I'm safe to just run down this turn? They haven't finished recruiting the boat and Piraeus yet. My navy is technically better. You can see they have nothing, but my boats come in with 3 pips. That's just part of being Athens. Your ports recruit biremes with 3 chevrons instead of normal biremes, which is nice. It's beneficial for sure, but on very hard difficulty, that's not enough to just be safe. What I could do is come here and just drop them off on the island and float next to the island. I actually quite like that plan. This way, if I get unlucky twice, they find me and I lose, my army still lives. We appear to have no money and we're making no money. That's rough. Thankfully though, we're at war with the Antigonids and it's time to squeeze them for all they're worth. This fight should be very easy. So easy, in fact, that I forgot to bring in the reinforcements. All right, the plan's pretty simple. We're going to immediately charge with the Spearman and the General's Cav. And on the General, I'm going to blow the horn. You'll see the General himself not actually blow the horn this time because he didn't feel like it. That's neat. He's supposed to neigh and fail to participate in the charge, but this time he just sort of, you know, did Rome Total War inside of a city things, also known as nothing. Anyway, that'll be triple speed. My General should be completely fine. We outnumber, we have Spearman support. I'd rather take wounds on the General than the Spearman. Yeah, we took 5 wounds on the General's Cav and nothing on anyone that mattered. Pretty solid. That's why I wasn't taking it seriously enough to remember to bring in reinforcements. We will need them for the next fight though. Now here, I'm bankrupt. I need the money. I need the money. I can't handle happiness issues. I just gotta click exterminate. Also, we need to destroy this building because God knows they don't need Antigonid recruitment, but we don't need Athenian recruitment either, so we'll take the practice range out too. Now, as I was just saying, we need all the reinforcements we can get. Piraeus won't be happy about that. No, they're not happy about that one little bit. But as you can see, there's a bit of an Antigonid stack going on over there. And having tested this before and knowing the exact contents of that army, I know that they're going to stand there and fight. I don't need to be cautious about this. So it's gonna be our army against Corinth's garrison, this man, Alexandros, and Crateros as well. And looking at them, it's a single general. It is a bunch of mercs, but you know, decent quality units all the same, and then a pair of merc hoplites and a family member. We have to kill this family member. We have to kill this family member. We have to deplete 85% of the units in each army so that they actually get stack wiped. And if we do, we can conquer Corinth without a siege. I think that seems very doable, and in fact, relatively easy considering how disorganized they are. Let's get to it. I believe this battle is almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same, as the battle I got in my test campaign. It looked identical to me at a glance. I might have gotten something wrong. But if that's the case, then the goal is start battle, run forward. They should all be right here. They are all right there like I thought I would be. We charge on our General's Cav at their General. We want our Spearmen running forward so that we can retreat back through them with our cavalry later. Archers just moving generally forward. This is going to be the smaller army with no general. It's going to be, yeah, Hoplite, Peltost, and Tarentine Cav. We want to about face so that we can throw jabs at them and then run back through the line. So to here, we're in range now, or we will be shortly, so let's start running. The charge here is going fine. We'll take some wounds as we run because they also have jabs, but it's not the biggest deal. I'm actually going to stop for a second. Give the command again. I felt like I was getting too far ahead and they wouldn't actually do it. Blow the horn, make sure my general's not in the front line of that charge. You can see him neighing and falling into the very, very back there. Run a bit further forward here. You guys, you no longer need to be doing this. Come back in and make sure they don't get too much more done. We need this general dead, and we need it dead like right now. The jabs hurt like hell. The jabs hurt like hell. There's nothing to be done about it, unfortunately. Got him. Get out, get out, get out.
It is time to press the attack.
All right, that's the hardest part of the fight done, is both units of cavalry dealt with. God, we took so much damage from those javelins. That's a lot worse than it was in my test matches. But other than that, I think we're golden. I think we've done all the hardest bits already. Although I can't help but notice one of these guys just didn't listen to my orders of falling back, but it's fine, it's fine. I want to do a 360-degree charge on those Peltas to break them pretty much instantly. I think that should be perfectly doable. And all of this can just charge that. It doesn't seem like it takes too much more effort. I want to circle around to the left because I want to be further from this. I'm making the assumption that these guys will rout when charged from 360 degrees by cavalry. I'll be very upset if I'm wrong on that assumption, but I could be. Charge here. Charge here. We're once again going to blow the horn here once we're almost to the fight because we don't want to actually get engaged. These Peltas do have spears, which makes this a lot more awkward than it otherwise would be. We're going to back off here because you can see them just running in circles, being goofballs, not actually charging for shit. Now we're going to come back in. All right, here we're good. Run forward here. They are routing. We're close to the map edge. We need this to get ran down. If this escapes, it'll likely cause Corinth to stay alive. All right, it looks like we're good. It looks like we're going to get all of them. Jab Cav are going to cut this way. Well, our generals run down, I think, the literal last guy. Yeah. Jab Cav to here. Looking at this, they're on the opposite side entirely. I'm going to run forward with the Acantiste. I'm going to leave the archers out here. I'm going to let them fire at will to get attention. They're done. Good. Run forward. Catch your breath. Run on over here. It's going to be the job of these Jab Cav to kill the enemy general that's left. I actually want my generals running forward here just to try to get some attention from the enemy. Jabs into the back, please. Here, we're going to run forward, probably to about here to get the attention of the enemy general. And once we're out of range of this decidedly, we're going to go into fire at will. Those javelins should be doing a lot of work. Defeat seems certain, like I'd imagine it would be. Really hoping to buy some time here with these guys. I can't run in for a fake charge, having taken this much damage already. If they don't want to come for us, there's nothing I can do about it. Same thing with this general, but this general will come for us almost 100% with the damage he's taking. We have to walk away here. We cannot let them run at us. It will just result in dead units. I feel like you should be more than half empty on jabs now, but okay. Nothing else I can do about it. Back off here. You cut through. He probably isn't actually fleeing. That sounds false. That's a really fast movement from these enemies. Is this Peltas or hoplites? Yeah, it's hoplites. This is really fucking dangerous. You guys, you're gonna need to be forward so that you can use clever commands here. All of you collapse here. And the clever commands is just we're gonna use a ranged attack so that we can kill this guy as he runs away. Well, specifically the archers. God, why are these hoplites so fast? They're just absolutely booking it. Does that look wrong to anyone else? God, they are just running, aren't they? It should be fine. It's just 16. We wiped out the other units from this army, I think. If you guys could shoot at them while they run away, though, like, I think we should be able to get their attention here. Nope, you gotta keep running. There's just no way to stand still. Wait, we got their attention at the last second. We're good. And we're at map edge, so there's no point trying to get closer here. It's just not going to work. Hopefully we can get one more volley. Come on. They're at 14, and they're going to drop down to, 13. Shooting hoplite to the archers just doesn't do a damn thing. Come here. Come here. And from here, I think it's just triple speed and wait a hot second. We can't charge in with cavalry against hoplites, even into the rear. That just does not work. Now we can throw here as well. You have a route here, so on this side, we're going to run this down. And the Acantiste are basically no longer relevant. I'll give the alt attack command, continue. Here, stop firing. You're causing friendly fire. All of this, do your best to run down. And this other one should be extraordinarily dead too, so triple speed to the end. That was really clean. At first, when we took all that damage from the javelins on this guy, I was very worried, but this should be an easy 85% on everything. Both generals dead. I don't know why you got wrecked by those Peltas quite so badly here. I think I just took way more volleys than I intended to or expected to. Yeah, that's well over 85%. Very, very clean. Happy with that. Very happy with that. And that is Corinth, undefended, successful force draw out. Let's take the city off their hands. God, I want to click enslave, but I just look at the happiness faces right now. I know it's not gonna work. I know I need the money. This hurts me, but it probably hurts them more. Now the good news is a lot of the casualties we did take were on our generals, so we actually more or less still have full force to keep fighting with. If I split this in half, 100, 200, 300, 100, 200, I could attack 2 settlements this turn. These fights have actually gone so well that it might be possible to take 2 settlements. Although, looking at the current level of happiness in these previous locations, we should probably be sending people back. Also, actually reaching the 2nd settlement is something of a problem as well. So we're gonna take our faction leader, send him back to Piraeus to get them under control, because they're losing their shit right now. Athens ain't doing much better. We're gonna send back a horseman to be retrained in Athens, because somebody's just gotta be there in case the Boeotian League comes. Having split this down to the other units, we're gonna send it back to Megara to be retrained in the near future. I'm surprised they can make it all the way back to Athens, actually. But Megara just needs a temporary garrison, and the archer is easily the worst unit in the army, so we leave them behind as a garrison in Corinth. Low taxes, everyone's good, and we can come down to Argus for the next siege. Drop some rams, which I mean a singular ram, and we should tear down some stuff here, huh? We need to get rid of this militia barracks and this practice range. And we need to start a farm, because I mean, the fact the farm isn't already here is frankly kind of embarrassing. Megara is in the exact same boat. And speaking of boats, we are making one here, but I need to build the things that go on those boats. The Athenian hoplites, the Greek hoplites, and the Acantisti. All right, let's try with Ellis and the Messene again. Would you like to buy trade rights this time around? I'll even give it to you at a bargain, 600 for trade rights and map info.
Proposal.
Thank you. Now let's go do the same thing down at Messene. These people were just, oh. Where's your army? I can talk to them instead, but I guess... Remember when I mentioned the naval invasions that you get around turn 4? For the record, we're in turn 3. Here's Messene's army. I wonder where it's going. Fucking hell. Well, I guess we're not selling them the map. Hey Sparta, did I sell you the map or not? We don't have trade rights, so probably not. 600 for it all? They'll take the lot. Wonderful. We get started back up north. Although I probably should have moved my spy before selling the maps, but hey, I didn't think about increasing the price anyway, so it all works out the same. And speaking of, we probably should have moved the 2nd spy that I also recruited before selling the maps. Silly me. There's just so much land up in Thessaly, dear lord. Anyway, the other diplomats will start making his way towards Anatolia. We'll pick up our next spy in Corinth as well. And I think the boat in Corinth is useless because the port will pop out into, I don't know if this is the Bay of Corinth or the Gulf of Corinth, but either way, it's on the wrong side of usefulness. It literally can't leave without conquering these settlements, and that's not going to happen. Taking a look at this, Athens is still furious. Yeah, fair, they just have to lower the taxes. I can't do anything about that. Here, we can get a lot more taxes though, since the faction leader's here. And with the money from exterminating, we can make some better farms. And a frankly useless trader, and I do mean frankly useless. I know it's getting 66, I was wrong. That's good. Not great return on investment, but it's still something. All right, I'm really happy that we got the forced draw on Corinth. That was one of the big things I was doing in my test campaigns to try to make sure I could do that, to see if there was a way to get a forced draw against Macedon, if it even worked. But now it's for the wacky part where people start landing on my shores on turn 4. This is when people show up. In my test game, it was for Gammon and Messene. Messene's obviously still coming for it, though they might die before they actually get here in this one. Let's see it. Who's coming for me today? Well, well, well. No one's landed on my shores on turn 4 this campaign. That might seem normal to you, but that's not how my testing's gone previously, and Messene appears to have turned their boat around and lighted their looming annihilation. I was fully expecting Pergamon or Chios to just land on the shores of Athens, because that's how it went last time. But it's good that they didn't. Let's get on the boats and get heading down. Let's take it a bit slowly in case Pergamon is in the way. I always love it when the boats just don't animate, and oh, that's nerve-wracking. I hate it. Taking a look at this, do I have 300? I don't. But if I were to stop along the coast at the correct points, then you can pop down. This finishes this turn, meaning they'll stay happy. They're not currently happy, mind. So change that to low taxes. Bring this down to the boat, which by the way is now a pair of boats and a notably safer. We'll fix that in a second. I hate boats. But we can drop this here at Trozen and they can siege the back one while the oncoming army sieges the front one, which is really nice. Oh hey, it's Sparta. And there's no military on that boat actually. No one's navally invading me, nice. But this can come up and it should have just enough to build a ram. You're damn right.
Besieging settlement, sir. Ready, ready.
Right, so why don't you two want to be friends? Just go the other way then, it's fine. Please be one navy. We're going to immediately start the next boat in Piraeus because we just have to. And I believe this is just one guy, whether it be Hoplite or family member, he'll go down like a chump. Even worse than Hoplite, a family member stands absolutely no chance. Let's get him. All right, this worked so well last time I did it that I'm gonna do it again. We're just giving the charge command on all of this at once, and as my general's cab gets vaguely nearby, I'm hoping that's the general just stuck against the wall over there. We're gonna hit the horn. It was my general who got deeply confused over there. This will give the initial attacks over to the general's bodyguard who matter not at all while they get surrounded and absolutely demolished by the hoplites, although better surface area always results in faster kills. Let's give them the chance to do that. I'm trying to right click to give the attack command and just royally messing it up. It's fine, still minimal casualties, but could probably have gotten less than 11 if I hadn't made that worse.
Settlement captured.
Again, happiness is a problem, money is a problem. I would love to not exterminate this, but I kind of need the statue of Zeus right now and I don't have it.
My lord. Yes,
Here, it's looking like I can probably just leave the horse behind, the horse being an incredibly not essential unit.
yes.
They're good. I need to start the siege here with just the family member and then bring everyone else down. Oh, it probably didn't matter, it was just zone of control. I was thinking they were out of movement, that's obviously not what it was, I'm just silly. But we're able to build rams on both, get both sieges done next turn, keep our good rate of conquering up. Athens is finishing this unit, so we're probably doing pretty well. Athens wants to build more stuff, of course they do. We don't really have the money for it, but I think public baths is the way to go. Arena? No, it's the public baths. The arena's the one beneath it. You got me, game. That's just a funny prank. Okay, I was gonna say, I swear to God in my testing, that was a public baths. Destroy this militia barracks in our newest settlement at Argus. And I think I'm gonna go with the shrine to Nemesis for eventual public growth and immediate happiness. Right now, Prasai is really a fort wall to Sparta. I might want to use these boats and ferry around to Elis before I start on Sparta, to be honest.
Ready.
The flip side of this is I don't know how many rival navies are in the immediate vicinity. I kind of just want to go back up here and pick up more troops. That honestly feels... God, it stresses me out when the game does that. I wanted to come down and watch the boat, but sometimes I get an animation super speed and I don't know how to turn it off. I don't even know why it's on in the first place. It feels like a glitch where the AI in-turn speed up is just permanently on. Anyway, we're recruiting up here. The boat's picking him up again. Argus, I believe, can also start building boats. And once we have 4 boats together, which will be in 2 turns when this next set of units gets down, I'll start feeling like I can really push my navy around and actually transport troops safely. That'll be really nice. One of the huge things I learned in my test campaigns was the importance of snowballing these boats and not taking any sort of early risk with them. And you might think if I outnumbered enemy navy 2-1 and I have 3 chevrons and they have 0, that's not a risk. But in my testing campaign, I learned that's definitely a risk. Don't trust very hard difficulty auto resolves. We have a new spy in Corinth. They're gonna start running forward. I can get anything done this turn. The spy I currently have in Thessaly is gonna start making their way towards Anatolia. And the spy I currently have over here in Illyria is going to, well, you know, go through Illyria like you'd expect them to, make their way towards Rome. I think this diplomat is going to attempt to resell our current maps to the Boeotians because we can. The map's gotten a lot bigger. It's looking like we're probably only getting maybe 200 gold out of them. All right, we got 300, nice. But that's still something, and we already had given them a map, so it's pretty solid. I'm gonna talk to the Aetolians next turn after I talk to the Carnadians. I'm gonna be coming through here anyway, so I can get more map before I talk to them.
Sir.
This diplomat's not reaching anyone this turn, he's just booking it. Next turn will determine if we're going up or right immediately, but I think that's it for this turn. Pontic Potapos is making a lot of friends. Everyone's seeing this dope dolphin flag and just joining up with them. Before I cross my fingers for naval invasions and hit end turn, I need to go edit all of this and see how much time I got left. Be back with you in just a second. Getting back into this, we're 40 minutes in. We definitely have time for one more turn in this opening episode. So let's end the turn, handle some easy sieges, and see if anyone throws a wrench into the plans of the random naval invasion that the AI is so fond of on VeryHard. You know, I think the Boeotian League might have bad intentions with that army movement that we just saw. And Messene is dead. Thank you, Sparta. So, I don't have to worry about the Messene Navy flying around with their units anymore. They're essentially a non-issue. The Boeotians haven't declared war on me yet, and their military is honestly not that impressive. I don't really want to push to here this turn, though. Right now, I'm essentially fort walled to Sparta. The interesting thing is that I really want to go to Ellis, like right now, like immediately, but that might not be viable. I think the play...
My lord!
Ooh, they have a zone of control wall. I can't actually get back to Athens for retraining, and none of my boats are nearby. That's actually a little bit gross. I guess first things first, we always start with these two sieges, and of the two, this one on the left looks to be the easier one. So let's take out this city and then move on to reinforce the next one. All right, it looks like we have the attention of the enemy a little bit earlier than we might have planned to, but that's fine. They'll be walking into a pretty easy flank for us. And sure, the Peltas aren't the easiest melee fight, but it's still gonna be a melee fight they lose handily, and the generals don't stand a chance in hell, like not even the tiniest. Cool, so that's running forward, and we can attack here as well, and that'll just be the fight pretty much immediately. You should stop throwing those though, you're really not helping. Oh, they're doing the thing where they throw javelins in melee and it bypasses the shields a lot. Look at these fucking bullshit wounds. Oh, it's so gross. I hate that the AI is so adept at doing this. I've lost like literally half a unit of hoplites. And I'm not even fighting them, right? Because they just walked away and like two guys got stuck behind them. It's so stupid how the AI controls their Peltas sometimes. Like, the player can sort of replicate it, but it's absolute nonsense and shouldn't be happening in the first place. Anyway, there's not a lot to say. We just grind them down, having taken an extra 100 wounds to then throwing 7 volleys that seem like they're kind of bypassing shields a little bit. The damage I took from 7 volleys head on for hoplites feels wrong. It doesn't feel like that kills 100 dudes, not even close to it. That feels like as much damage as we get throwing it into the rear. So it feels like they're bypassing shields by using ranged weapons in melee, and it's just like, oh, that's not fair. That's just gross. Absolutely undeserved 100 wounds from AI shenanigans. That's so upsetting. The main reason it's upsetting is because of the Boeotians that are on our doorstep right now. Those wounds can't be retrained this turn because of the aforementioned zone of control wall. It's just deeply frustrating. And I think we are going to click enslave on these two settlements and then get punished for it immediately, but we do have more governors down here to actually help with it now. We're going to pop up to A, just eventually leave, but B, to reinforce in this city siege, because they're pretty low on infantry in this army. They could use the additional manpower. All right, I've gotten their attention precisely where I wanted to get their attention at, because now we can come throw javelins on both of these units of Akantistai and presumably get an absolute ton of damage very, very quickly. There's gonna be a bit of friendly fire here unavoidably, but it's still really, really solid. And at this point, I think we can stop. I think we've already tilted that far enough in our favor. There's no reason to take the additional friendly fire. Not that we haven't already thrown basically all the javelins, so we go to triple speed and let them grind this out. I'm avoiding using the Greek hoplites here because I know I can't get them retrained for a while, unlike these guys. And also, this is looking like I'll be able to leave behind a garrison of like 2 guys. It's basically perfect. 28 left. I'm gonna send in the Greek hoplites for reinforcements because these guys appear to be taking their sweet time making this actually happen. You know, just normal hoplites things. You absolutely murder them initially, and then the fight goes on for another. Oh, that's normal looking, isn't it? Please stop showing me the camera angle. But yeah, you absolutely mangle them the initial encounter, and then the fight just refuses to end for another 30 seconds at triple speed. Just normal Greek shit that's happening right now. All right, and I'm clicking enslave, and I keep forgetting whether or not I'm clicking exterminate or enslave every time, but I'm clicking enslave come what may. Everyone here, pop out immediately, join up with the other army. And obviously both of these cities are gonna be absolutely pissed, and both of these cities need to have all of their construction stuff torn down immediately for cash. And then we get to the awkward business of sorting out their happiness. Some of that's just gonna be like, oh hey, these family members that like aren't actually very good, they can help. 55% and 45%.
My lord! My lord!
Right, this guy should be able to handle the 45 and get to 75, if I'm understanding influence correctly. He's actually better than I thought he was. So this other one should also be fine then, just with the family member, if I'm understanding this correctly.
Onward!
Yes. I lost exactly enough Athenian hoplites because that dragged on forever for no reason that I cannot combine these units and be left with a garrison of 1. This is 123 total. That's the exact number it can't be, right? Yeah, that's just silly. Taxes here are fine. Taxes there are fine. Megara's also looking to retrain the Athenian hoplites and also can't because we're getting walled. This boat can... I can bring it here and then use it to ferry. I'm going to. God, I hate the boat speed shit that's happening. I have to attack and assume we win the 2v1 now. I don't have a choice. What are you talking about? You're not out of movement. Thank you. Oh, what do you mean it's even? We outnumbered him 2-1, thank Christ.
We are victorious!
Okay, now we come down here, because being the ferry just matters so much here. We need these units on the boats. And we need this unit on the boat. We can get 180 men immediately.
Yes, strategos.
Why is it saying I can do this? No, I don't believe you, I'm quick saving. I don't even think I'm gonna test it, actually. I think the game's just wrong. Because it's routing through red, right? Like, it just doesn't work, it's incorrect.
Ships ready.
But they can get there, that's not the problem, right? Like, now they can route out like this
Forward.
and get to Athens. And then we can retrain them. And that's wonderful. The archers would also like to be retrained, but it's very much not urgent.
Ships ready.
I'm gonna bring this into the port here and get it retrained as well. I think that's just sensible. Am I not? Oh, that wasn't the port of Athens, that was the port of Piraeus. That's fine by me though. So now we'll be up to 3 boats with even more experience than we had previously. That's wonderful. This army's gotta be coming north, right? It probably garrisons at Megara. We wait for them to come through with the siege. We rally, defeat them, and then push through their lands. I would definitely prefer to be going for Ellis right now, but that's just not feasible. Like, look how much infantry I have. I need to meet up at Athens. So yeah, we go to Megara. That sorts their happiness a lot.
Ships ready.
Over here, we start the next wave of units. It sucks that we're not able to ferry them this turn because we were out of time, but it is what it is. Start the next wave of Athenian hoplites here, and to briefly cover why I'm not making Athenian Epibonti, my experience has been because of the massively decreased defense that they're roughly equal in functionality to Athenian hoplites, except unless you're fighting cavalry, in which case these guys are tremendously worse. So having more of these guys for freedom of combining them and sending back smaller groups, as well as just because they're better versus family members, which happens so much in the early game, the Athenian Epibonti really do feel like the weaker unit most of the time. Also, I want this spy as well. I wasn't aware I could recruit one. If I swap these governors, I think I can raise the tax rate.
My lord. March.
Yeah, this one goes up to normal now, and this one stays at low. It just gets me more money. Good, good, good. I was right. Embros has expanded as a result of my behavior, and also, it stopped expanding immediately because we recruited people. Fair enough. Start the Shrine of Nemesis, though, and we're out of money. Ceasefire effect for Pergamon and the Galatians. That's probably why they didn't attack me, as they were fighting the Galatians this time around. We picked up a first mate for our admiral, a captured flag for our general. One of our guys is wealthy. The Olympic Games are happening. Who even cares? And we're not making stuff everywhere. That's just not feasible. What we're making is armies. In this first episode, we've stolen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 settlements from the Antigonids in what turn is it? We've stolen 6 settlements from the Antigonids in 5 turns. I'd say that's a good rate. We need to slow down for a second to start dealing with Boeotians. And I think that's gonna be for next time. I think we're done for now. That's not true. We have spies to move, maps to build, and people to sell them to. One spy makes his way through Illyria to build the map out in that direction. Another spy makes his way through Anatolia, or towards Anatolia rather, to build our map out in that direction. We'll get there eventually. And our last spy just heads hard to the north to circle out towards the edge of the Black Sea eventually. And he's actually scouting what will eventually be our home. I'm glad the Antigonids don't have that in the south. That was a very scary looking army.
Your Honor.
And now we saw our maps of the Acarnanian League, if they're still alive. Is this... Yep, that's Epirus, all right. That's fine. We're gonna come down, talk to the Aetolian League, Epirus, and the Acarnanian League. We sold them our map before. I don't think I did that too recently. I think that was the start of game and I held off on reselling the map, right?
But
we still managed to get 200 gold from them for that map, so that's something. Hey, Epirus. Actually, I'll sell Epirus the map next turn. I don't need the money. I'm not building. I do need the money right now. So trade rights, map info, 600 denarii. That's still generous. Good, my map is getting meaningfully bigger. Let's up that to 800 denarii. And see if they'll take that. Also, let's try to get the same deal with the Acarnanian League before they drop dead, which is looking like it's in the horizon for them. Trade rights, map info, 800 denarii, they accept it. Quick question. They think the Alliance is demanding. I was gonna try to sell it to them, but they think it's to my benefit, which is quite funny. We're gonna start making our way up to Illyria and eventually to Rome. It's a long ways off though. Over here on the right, if we go straight right, we can meet the Seleucids this turn and then shortly after several more. That makes sense to me. Let's get going.
I shall speak with them at once.
Trade rights, map info. With the Seleucids, it says balance on 1,000. Will they give it to me? Of course they will. They're made of money. That's nice. Pontic Pentopoulos is saving me some time by walking down to meet me. Love that. We're gonna see if everyone else is going to pay 1,000 these days. They are. Hot damn. We're gonna keep on moving to sell more maps, and with our new map money, we're gonna go back through and see if we can actually build things everywhere again. Probably not, by the way, but I will try. Shrine to Nemesis everywhere is a good way to spend money efficiently. Farms is even better. And it looks like some of these places were places I just conquered and had to build farms in, so yeah, fair enough. Also, we are making 4,400 a turn right now, which is legitimately pretty solid. And I think we sit here, and that's the end of the turn. We've used all of our diplomats, all of our spies, we've used our boats, they're retrading, they're safe, we've used all of our armies. Nothing is repelling. Actually, hold up, these places should have higher taxes, they're too happy. Those faces are way too green. What are you clowns doing? Just throwing away money right now. Yeah, I'm glad I stopped to check that. That's a lot more taxes. Now we're up to 5,600 this turn. And I'll go ahead and end this turn as well before I wrap up the video. Let's see if any wrenches get thrown to the plans or if we're going into turn 6 and being offensive or defensive against the Boeotian League. It wouldn't even really feel like a proper turn if the Antigonids didn't do nothing and then blockade one of my ports at random. Oh, by the way, as I sit here and wait for the Seleucid turn to finally finish, we dropped down from 6,500 to 4,100. 2,500 denarii a turn instantly gone upon retrading all of those hoplites. It's so expensive to field these armies, but like, it's the only option. You can't win these wars without doing it. Oh no, I think that seeing this means they failed, but if the Boeotian League opened our gates and attacked, I'd have been so upset. That would have been such a way for the campaign to go off the rails. You know, it's been a really peaceful, according to plan, Athens campaign. No one made it to my shores. Only Messene even tried, and they died for having tried. Pergamon got attacked. I don't know what Chios is doing, but they're small and weak, so that makes sense. Rhodes is probably doing stuff over in Anatolia, as they're prone to doing. This is the first time no one landed here and attacked me. In the 2 test campaigns I had where I was trying out different strats, both times I got attacked by Pergamon, and one time I got attacked by Messene. Huh, neat. Well, also, it looks like they thought better of it. They saw the sheer number of hoplites that appeared there. We're like, you know what? Maybe not. Which means I'm taking Thebes this turn because they're probably going to retreat and allow a forced draw out. Maybe it's at Tanagra, not Thebes. But we'll deal with the Boeotian League in the next one. For now, I'm done. I'm really looking forward to getting into the Area of Recruitment stuff once we deal with the Boeotian League. Once we deal with all of this stuff and unite the Peloponnese. Because we do need to kill Sparta. They'll attack us. We need to fully push the Macedonians out. We need to get the statue of Zeus. The Boeotian League's just the next step, and after we kill them, we can fort wall here. Getting ahead of myself, let's handle it next episode. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to so much Area of Recruitment shenanigans, and I hope you are too. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, Jeffrey and Evan B, and I'll see all of you in the next one.